Hello, Nico. This is Dimitris calling from Metalkaoz and Chicago. How are you?
Not bad, thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's Monday, and we will be talking about a new album, right?
Yes,
So
that's
I will start with a with a with a with expected questions, right? You have been playing live with Katatonia, correct? For often, let's say.
yeah.
So I'm guessing that transitioning from a live only live playing with a band to a full-time member was kind of smooth or not?
Yeah. I mean, all things considered,
Mm-hmm.
it was, I mean, it still is, but in the beginning it was very challenging. It's um hard stuff, you know. It's not easy. Some of the songs are like really different. It's a lot of odd meters and stuff that in the beginning was like, holy cow, I can't do this, but I think it's that's why I love about it so much, that it's really challenging, and I really enjoy playing it. We are really enjoy hanging out with each other, which I think is the most important thing in a band.
Correct.
That um, we share the same. We have very similar music taste, and you know, it's a really relaxed and fun environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super happy, but it's a learning curve. I'm still learning. It's better now than the first gig. That was really hard, but that was, you know, many years. Like I think the first gig I did was 2 or 3 years ago. So
2022.
yeah. So when and me and Jonas, we've been hanging out a lot, and we are have very similar um, ideas of what good music is. So it's yeah, it's really cool. It feels like I'm home in a really nice way. So I'm
That's
chuffed.
great to hear. So
Yeah.
a lineup change like that, seeing Anders leaving the band, can have an effect on the band itself and the fan
Yeah.
base. So, first of all, was this unexpected as far as you know?
No, it was kind of, I mean, a pleasant surprise. I mean, but I'm also aware that, you know, I'm like that also, like, original members, first album is the best and all that, you know. It's kind of like, I mean, us metalheads, we are very conservative people. We think that
Yes.
we're very open-minded, but it's really there are rules, you know, and so I know that a lot of people is going to be like, man, um, I don't know, they're going to be very skeptical for a long time, and that's cool. I don't think that this is not going to change overnight. But at the same time, you know, it's like there's nothing I can do about it. You know, I can just
Of course.
play in the band and do as good as do my best, and then hopefully down the road, people, maybe some are going to be like, yeah, they're not that bad actually, you know.
Mm.
But so I'm very humbled, and but I don't think about it. You know, again, there's like, you know, there's nothing I can do to change that, whatever people's idea of what it should be, because it's not like that no more. So it's kind of like a take it or leave it deal, and then hopefully most people eventually are going to take it. But I don't dwell on it, you know, because we're having a blast, and we think that we're doing creating good music now, and there's a really good energy in the band. I think that's like the positive within a band, you know, even though like a breakup is always hard. But since we're the new girlfriends, you know, it's always nice. It's also nice to have like a new girlfriend, so you don't have to think about the breakup so much.
Jeez.
So it's a horrible relationship because nobody gets laid.
Geez. So, first of all, uh, after growing up, I'm talking about myself. I have
Right.
stopped thinking like that, saying that, oh, only the debut album is great. After that, the bands sold themselves out. That doesn't make sense,
No, it
right?
doesn't. But
And
it is out there. So, and I think again, there's people. I mean, fine if you have that. If you, I mean, for me, I have these bands that I grew up with,
mhm,
and the sound of the band is connected to me growing up.
yes,
So basically, it's memory lane,
mhm,
and a lot of people doesn't realize that it's your memory lane, that it's connected to your childhood, and so there's nothing anybody can do about that because we can't go back in time. So I think, but as you said, and I think most people, at the end of the day, you just want the band to go on and come up with new great music.
of course.
And then, and also what I think is so cool with this band that Katatonia has been changing so
Mhm.
much throughout history, so we're allowed to do weird stuff. It's not like there's a set recipe and people expect us to do like the same kind of album over and over. I'm sure there's a few people that thinks that, but as a whole, it's like it's the band Katatonia is like a um, ever-changing organism. So for me, that's perfect because I love all kinds of music, and I think you could pretty much mash up anything with anything if you do it the right way. It's kind of like food, you know, anything goes with anything if you do it right. So I'm really happy to be with this band
Of
where
course,
it's
of
like it's
course.
everybody kind of knows that whatever we're expecting, it's going to be something different. So
Yeah, and it's a
that's
long
really cool.
argument. Sometimes I have with people I talk to that bands are like ourselves. It's a living organism. We
Yeah,
grow
exactly.
up, we
Yeah,
change, experience changes. So
yeah,
if we expect a band for, I don't know, 3 decades to sound the same, it's boring for me.
yeah.
And
I mean,
that's about it.
there's some bands, you know, that well, where that's like their deal. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a pizza restaurant. If you go out saying you're doing pizza, then you should stick to making pizzas, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I agree that I prefer to go to a restaurant where the menu changes and challenges me in weird ways. And sometimes it works better, and sometimes not so good. But I prefer it when it's like I wonder what they're going to come up with next time. You know, I think that's a really cool concept.
Yeah, and in the end of the day, if the musicians feel inspired,
Yeah,
feel happy with the music they're making,
yeah,
then it will be great. It
I
may
think
not
so
be to
too.
your taste, but hey, that's life.
Yeah,
We don't have to
yeah.
like everything.
No, no, exactly. You know that's also nice to not having um like if you're doing instant pop music that people have to like everything immediately, then you're under a different kind of pressure. But with metal, it's always been like they want the whole thing. Like I mean, people still buy albums, metalheads. There's pretty much no other music style that has that kind of following and that kind of loyalty. So I think it's a wonderful plateau where you're allowed to go crazy. Sometimes it works, and sometimes maybe not so much, but you'll still check out the next one, you know. So it's a very it's a very nice place to be as a musician that you're allowed to do this without too much hate. I mean,
Too
sometimes, but
much
I don't
hate.
mind, you know, I don't mind if people if half is like what the fuck and the other half is like yeah, you know, that's because that's like that's how it should be, I think. I remember back in the day, man, when it's like every album that was released, we had so many arguments on
Oh yeah.
whether that was good or not, or I still do, you know. And I think that's the beauty. And many albums that I completely despised back in the day are now my favorite albums.
There you go.
So I think, and I think that's the saddest part about the music industry now, that it's we're not allowed to fail in the same way as back in the day. Even, if you made an album that was super weird, people will still come to the shows, and they kind of do with in the metal arena still, but it's less. And I think that's everybody loses if we're not allowed to freak out here and there. Well, with Katatonia, there's this, the leeway for going crazy is quite big. So I really like that. I'm super happy to
Yeah,
be
there
part
are,
of this
I
band.
think in the metal scene, there are extremes. There are good things, but there are really bad things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. But
So,
it's
okay.
yeah. Sorry.
Uh, we can move on. I mean, we shouldn't dwell on that much.
Right.
However, you said that in the beginning it was difficult with the songs, and with you, let's say your background is entombed AD, Terra Firma. Uh, it's kind of different sound with Katatonia. So, from your own perspective as a guitarist, what are the challenges, and how can you adapt, let's say, your guitar playing to this band?
Um, it's I mean, I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. I've always loved prog rock of all kinds. As I said, I'm like I there's only two kinds of music. There's good music and bad music, and I love all the good music. So I it was it's challenging in the way that it's like different from what I'm used to. Now I'm kind of used to it, so I kind of get the formula a little bit better than 2, 3 years ago. But it's still really challenging, and I'm trying not to think on how I should change. I'm trying to like not change, but make it fit within this realm. Because I know that if I'm trying to play like somebody else, it's I can't do that. I mean, there's people that can do it brilliantly, but I'm one of those that I have to do it my way or I can't do it. So I haven't been thinking that much about it really. I'm just whenever there's something weird or something I don't get, then sometimes I just practice harder, or I just make it like my version of it.
Mm.
So I'm trying to. I haven't. Um, I haven't like thought about it how I should change anything. I've just tried to. If something's really hard, I've just practiced it more until it's like some version comes natural, and then I'll just stick with that. So I think it's, but again, it's even though on my resume, you would think that this is a huge change, but I've been all over this kind of music for a long time. So I feel like I'm home. It's not like I had to, I don't know, take some extra classes on YouTube or whatever. It was just like, but I have to say that, I have to, whenever there's like new songs, I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. And the learning curve is still very much longer than with Entombed or Terra Firma or anything else I've done, because there's like, I don't know, Jonas's way of coming up with shit. It's just like, it's really, really, it's one of a kind. It's really fascinating how he comes with these riffs, and I'm like, the only thing I've been doing is playing guitar, and he doesn't even play guitar. And there I'm sitting trying to like, how in the fuck did you do this riff? It's like, I think that's super cool that his just a weird way of looking at it will completely fuck me up, and then he could throw something, or I could throw something back that is technically super hard, but it's kind of like that's really not really my position to do that, because you know I want to learn the ropes of I'm like I'm gonna stay in the background and just shut up for a long time, because the whole universe of Katatonia, it's so much to begin with, and then I think it's also I don't want to it's like, you know, first you learn the recipe of the restaurants before you come with your own ideas of how to change it. So I'm gonna stick as a saucier for a long time here and just do whatever the chef tells me.
So until you become a sous chef,
Yes.
what was your input in this album? Because I imagine Jonas brought demos, as you said, brought the riff. So how much were you involved for this album, for the making of this album?
I mean, me and Jonas, we have a very similar. I wouldn't. Yeah, it's kind of like whenever he sends a song to me, even if it's a Katatonia song or any song, it's like, check this out. I know it's always going to be good, and I send him something. So I think we found each other in like a confidence that we have a very similar idea of what's good. And I've been recording, producing, and engineering a shitload of albums over the years. So I have like uh, um, I am comfortable in a chair where somebody comes to me with like an idea or concept or a song, and then how to make that better. So I think, but I mean, again, he has there's such a uniqueness to it. So I am still, we've been debating back and forth, and there's been like, you know, a really good collaboration, but I am still in the position, and I think I'm going to stay there for a long time, where I just try to enhance the idea of Katatonia until, like you said, down the line, maybe I could advance to sous chef and then come up with like, you know, how about this? Let's change it to that. Or I mean, we've been jamming back and forth with a bunch of songs, and he had pretty much the whole thing written, and so it's been mainly producing, like, or whatever you want to call it, like being the to throw ideas at and get like how should we approach this part and whatnot. But I think it's really nice to meet your twin soul that has like the same kind of universal feel for what is good and what is not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the most. I don't think I've ever had someone that you feel such a connection with musically. It's like, I mean, I could throw him a country song that I found that just blows my mind, and he'd be like, "Yeah, man, that's the one." And then all kinds of music. It could be any style, but every time he sends a song, I know it's going to be like, what the fuck is this band? And then you have to check out their whole catalog, and it's hard to it's hard to describe, but it's a really nice feeling when you meet somebody that has that you feel has gets you, and you get their idea of whatever's good, you know.
Hearing you describing how you joined Katatonia and how you work with Jonas, to me, you look like a very confident guitarist and musician. You know what you can do. You know what you could learn how to do, and you know your place in Katatonia. So this is not a question. This is just a realization, and I like what I see, and I really appreciate your stance and how you joined the band. I wanted to say that.
Right on. Thanks, man. That's very nice to hear.
No, absolutely. However, there is another guitarist, another
Yes.
sous chef. No, we kept. I don't
No,
know why.
he's He's also like me. We're still on the vegetables, just chopping it, you know.
Okay. So, by the way, I'm really curious what you guys will cook up for the next album, since we are talking
Yeah,
about kitchen and Katatonia.
yeah.
Anyhow, how does your playing fit, or what are the differences, if you may, with Sebastian?
Oh man, it's really fascinating. We have he's like I think we complement each other very well. It's like what I do without even thinking. He thinks it's like, how in the hell are you doing that? And then he's doing stuff that I'm like, well, how did you do that? And then it's kind of like we um there's it's really hard to put the finger on it, but usually in metal you have like it's either one rhythm or one lead, or most cases there's like two lead guitar players that battle about, you know, who's going to play what and blah blah. And that whole ego thing is we don't have any of that. It's everything's been like, well, this is your part, you know, duh. It's like you can tell immediately that that's way better if you do that, and that one I can do because that's probably going to work better when I do it. So I think we're very different as guitar players, and uh, also I'm interested to learn his way of looking at it, and he's interested in learning. So it's like we just sometimes we change parts. We play live just to like keep us on our toes. But when we recorded the album, it was really cool how it was like, well, no, man, you do that. That's like because that's you, and uh, it feels very natural and very it's very there's no ego
Mm.
at all as far as you know who I don't know. There's this thing with I think more in metal than any other music style that you know you if you play guitar you want to be the lead dude, you want to be the front dude.
The guitar hero, right?
Yeah, the guitar hero. And I think that's like none of us wants to be that dude, but some, you know, so we share the burden. And no, it's really fruitful. And he's an amazing. He's got an insane amount of energy. He's like much younger than me. We joke constantly that he's my forgotten son. That I made some girl pregnant, like, you know, when I was 20, and that he's the offspring. So it really feels like that, but in a good way. It's like he has that wonderful energy that I remember. So we kind of feed off each other. I have, you know, 20 years of experience that he hasn't had. So we have it's a really nice um, exchanging of concepts and ideas. So I think it's a very nice relationship, um, and more than anything, there's none of that guitar playing ego
Yes, yes.
thing yet. I'm sure
Oh,
in a
come
few
on,
years.
man. Come on.
No, so it's really good. I'm really happy to say that it's an absolute blast to play with him, and he's also got ideas visually that I've never even thought about. He's all over that stuff that to me is like, well, shouldn't the video dude fix that for us? You know, I'm only sound. I don't care. I mean, I care about I see when it's good, but I would never ever go into like artwork or anything. And he's all over that. He's like he thinks in visual terms as well. So that's really cool that so he's schooling me on that like big time.
Kids can
Uh,
do lots of things nowadays, man.
yeah, I know, man. Isn't it crazy? They sit
It's
there with it.
crazy and it's great.
Yeah, no, I love it. But exactly it's the kids today that grew up with. When I grew up, it was just sound. We had a vinyl
Hmm.
at best, and then it was just the music. but kids, I mean, the younger people than me, at least, I wouldn't call them kids, but they have a better sense of picture and music together because that's what they grew up on. You know,
Right.
I mean, he had YouTube when he was a little, and I so there's like a different mindset, and which is really cool.
Oh, it
I
is.
think it's and it's really important, you know, because I mean, when I go see a band, if it sounds amazing and looks amazing, it gets super amazing. But I'm like old school, you know, I just go up there and if there's a lamp, okay, turn it on and then we'll just play. That's how much. But at the same time, I'm like Pink Floyd is my, you know, and that's super visual.
Yeah, yeah.
And you go see a Pink Floyd concert, that's like some next level stuff because of the how the
That's right.
pictures interact with the music. So I'm really happy that he gives a fuck, so I can learn and hopefully down the line we could come up with some really cool things visually also. It's in this day and age, it's fairly easy to do it, you know.
Hmm.
If as long as you have the, it's just like you know recording music. Back in the day, you had to go to the studio, and now you buy a computer and you're good to go. So, and it's the same with pictures. So it's just the good ideas that are missing, and I think he has those. So I think it's going to be really cool in the future when we get um, the,
Your recipes when you have your recipes to bring
when
your
we have the
recipes
recipes,
to
when we learn the recipes, and then we will add some broccoli to the pepper
perfect.
sauce.
You mentioned the computer, using computer to do a production. However, for this album, Katatonia recorded the drums in a converted church, right?
Yeah,
So can you, since you are, you know about this stuff, how does
right.
this change or enhance the sound of the drums in the album? What can people expect or what they should look for?
Oh, I mean, it's Lawrence McCrory, a wonderful dude and an excellent producer. He recorded it. The church, the room in itself sounds insane. And Daniel is an absolutely insane drummer. He's like, what the hell is going on? So I think when you record drums with good drums in a good room and a good drummer, there's like a glue in the sound. There's like a bigness that we can always try to recreate afterwards with reverbs and stuff, but that wasn't needed here at all. So, and also I mean, Adam Noble, the dude that mixed it, he's not from this planet, man. It's like an insane quality of mixing. So, I think that, I mean, you could have opinions about how the sound changed of the band as far as like, you know, musically, but sound wise, man, I think it's insane. It really, and I've recorded quite a few ones, and I am a complete sound freak. And this one to me is I can't believe it sounds the way it does. So I am really happy with him, and I think that he's input, Adam Noble's first Lawrence recording skills, but Adam Noble's mixing skills just took it to like a level that I would never have seen coming. So it sounds amazing, and if you there's just like a natural airy something to the drum sound that is very rarely heard these days because everything is recorded. um, I mean, it's being recorded with just close mics and it's being quantized, and there's a lot of drum replacing. Nothing wrong with that, but that kind of takes away the chances of getting like one sound from the drums.
Mm.
It tends to become several sounds, like kick, snare, like everything is in a perfect place spread out, but it's five different sounds. And with this, it's like a kit.
Yeah,
And I
because
think
the
that's
sound
very rare.
bounces, right? Bounces
Yeah,
around
yeah. It's like
the
when it
frequencies.
works,
Yeah.
you don't have to do anything. You just do you do a very little to it. And I think
Mhm.
that's like back to the analogies with chefs. Adam
Mhm.
Noble, he's French next level, 4 Michelin star chef. So when he put it on the plate, it was like, oh my God, did we do this? That's insane. And I've again, I've recorded quite a few albums, and I don't think I ever felt like, usually when there's like a mix, you send back at least a page filled with notes, 2 dBs up, fix the kick drum, blah blah blah. I didn't have anything. I was more scared if I say anything,
I will.
he's going to change something, and then I will be responsible for fucking it up, So it's like, but then truly in 30 years, that was the first time. The reason I started engineering was because the first albums that we recorded was like, okay, this sounds like ass, so I have to learn this. And now 30 years down the lane, I still don't know how to do it, but I've done it so much so I can recognize like a proper chef. And Adam he's like top 3 in the world. So as I said in many other interviews, let's not ever use anybody but him. So if you hear this, Adam, hey, thank you.
So Jonas writes also the lyrics. So first of all, do you discuss the lyrics with him? No, let me rephrase that. Do you need to establish a connection even with the lyrics in order to fully perform the music as you would like to?
No, I mean, sometimes when if you get like a title or a vibe, or maybe just a sentence here there, because usually the lyrics are like the last to be completely finished. So I mean, it would be lovely, and I've always said that, if you would start with the lyrics, so you have like a poem and then you make music around that. But that's not how we do it, and I've never done it like that. I don't think I know any band that has. So basically the lyrics comes in very late, and he has such a cool way with words, and it's like I think it's important to, if you don't write it yourself, because I know from writing lyrics that once you get going, most of the time when somebody comes with an idea, it's like it's just disturbing. It just fucks with your. So it's a really personal thing, and I think if somebody's good at it, just leave them be. And it is definitely the case with Jonas. So sometimes we sit and discuss, and we listen to songs with great lyrics, and it's always when we send tracks of other other bands to each other, it's like, check out that line, and there's always this like, he sent the Hosier song to me the other day. I can't remember the line, but something with heroin, and it was just like, whoa, it was like the line of the lyric. And it's so cool to have that connection when somebody's like freaks out at the exact same time when you freak out, like from a sentence in a lyric. So I think it's more like you talk about it in really vague terms, but not when it's being written. It's like I know that whoever starts it, just leave them alone, And then at the end, if it's not great, then you say, yeah, it's not bad, but let's go with that one instead. You know what I mean? It's like, so you don't. I think people that can collaborate on lyrics are either they super cheesy lyrics like any pop songs, and you see all these insane amount of songwriters, and it's just, let's go to the beach and party, and you're like, well, I mean, it makes no sense that 5 people wrote this. So I think lyric is very as a very personal thing, and once you have like a seed to a song, don't touch it, Yeah. I mean, enhance, help out, and if they ask, but don't go in there unless you're asked to, what I mean? That's my concept of it.
And how strange is it that we go to concerts and hear often depressive or sad music with sad lyrics, but we have a great time. How strange is
Yeah,
that?
that's what that's music. It's like the that's what I love. I mean, I am personally not a fan of happy music and anything that's things about, vamos a la playa, let's go drink beer. To me, that's like, I mean, sometimes, it could be nice with a song like that, but for me, the music that makes me like, uh, sad song that makes you cry, and at the same time, you feel better than ever because
Mm.
it made you cry. It's such a weird, uh, what's the word?
It's a weird
Uh,
relationship with the music, but it's an outlet for us.
yeah, no, it's a great outlet, and I personally, I only want to hear sad songs and minor. That gets me, every time, and that makes me happy. I could go to a party and then they put on like the most depressing song, and still that uplifts me. But I mean, that's how we roll up here in Scandinavia. It's 99%. It's just go into the water and drown yourself and then cry at the same time, but it's uplifting, and it's really interesting. I When you point that out, there's thousands of people, and the song is about dying slowly alone, and everybody's like, that was the best time I ever had. It's like, it makes no sense. It's as far away from a hockey game as you can get, but I'm so happy that it exists because I'm suck at playing hockey.
Even what you just said sound contradictory. I'm happy when I hear these sad songs, right?
Yeah, it makes
But
no sense, but it's cool. I love it.
it is because what is carries the heaviest weight? It's the sadness. So when you express that with the music,
Yeah.
it goes away,
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
right?
That's someone said that, sometime, I mean, somewhere down the line we're gonna have everything automated for us, and we don't have if everything goes well, we're not gonna have to work, and we're just gonna, well, I mean, we can already at this day, basically everybody on earth could lead a pretty good life,
Yeah.
but there will always be a need for new music to
Yes.
describe so it's like, even though we're just moving air around your ears, it's like, which is not like necessary to survive, but if you want to live, you have to have music. And if you don't only want to survive but also want to like have a decent life, I mean, a life without music, fuck that, man.
You know
Hell
what?
no.
It's staying in silence is good for a specific period of time, but for a long
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
you know. So
No, no,
music
no.
serves that, fills
Yeah,
that
yeah,
space, and in a
yeah.
very good way, no matter if it's
No,
sad or if it's
it's,
happy.
yeah, true, true.
Love it. So live, you have the summer festivals coming up, and then on November until December you have Evergrey, which I love, and Clogger. Do you know where Katatonia will be touring after this? Maybe next year. It's more appropriate to ask.
No, I mean, there's talk about the States, I heard, but nothing's set in stone.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, kind of beginning of 26, but not, I don't have like a schedule.
Okay.
So I mean, this European run is going to be pretty long. So I'm kind of like just focusing on surviving that first. Uh, but I think it's going to be quite a lot next year. That's what I heard last time we had a meeting, talked about this with the guys that makes it happen, like the management and such. Um, but now it's just, festivals first, and then survive the European tour, and then yeah, no,
But yeah, it
but
makes sense. It makes
it
sense.
make it's I mean, it's great fun. I love it, but it's hard work, man. So I'm trying to stay humble by saying if I survive.
And last question, and it's relevant. How easy at this age to have a personal life and keep touring?
Oh, it's actually better
Hmm.
in a weird way because I think you kind of know what it's about. I've been doing it for so long, so um, it's. I was thinking about that the other night. I mean, the other day or something. That it's. I think you pace your energy better now. So when you go on a tour, it's because it's exhausting. You kind of conserve your energy, and you don't go all in the same way as you do when you're young.
Mhm.
So it's actually less exhausting in a way because you know how to, you have to like pace yourself with, all the partying and not sleeping. That's, I'm too old for that. So, I mean, it's not that I don't party, but it's not like a young buck would.
Mm.
And then also you have, the insane amount of communication possibilities. So I can keep in touch with my son and, everybody at home. So and also this day and age, it's so digital anyways. So I don't we don't think about it, but people hang out in person less and less. So a
Yeah.
lot of interaction is just on the screen. And it may sound sad, but it's also really cool that we can have this. I mean, back in the day, if you went out for a month, there was no communication, maybe like a letter or something. But now I can talk daily. So it's actually not so bad. I mean, when it goes past like 3, 4 weeks, something is like, oh man, I need to get home.
Hmm.
But then also when you're out for, the way the band starts to sound when playing every night for 3, 4 weeks, it's like, holy shit, it's such a different feel to play. It's like you don't have to think, and you transcend to another level. So that's really, really fulfilling. And that's it makes those last 2 weeks really enjoyable as well. So yeah, all in all, I'm surprised to say that it's actually easier. I think it's because I learned you know, how to do it
How
properly
to
and
manage
not
yourself, right?
yeah, precisely. There it is. You have to, you don't have to go to the gym every day, but you have to stay in shape, and you have
Correct.
to, particularly sleeping is really important. And you can't be super drunk when you sleep because that's no sleep. So there's like a balance with it that I think I did not have back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
After,
However,
so sorry.
crossing the Atlantic, it can be tough because the traveling is more, let's
Yeah,
say.
no, that's always, but that's like if you make sure that, and that's also a thing that we do now when that if we cross the Atlantic, we don't do like a gig the same day. So
Mhm.
at least you have a day, so you know that yeah, it costs more money, but it's worth it because it'll make us, able to do the whole thing. So I think that's the key, that to know your limits and always conserve energy, because you know that there's going to be more needed of you. And then every time you get home, you're completely exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
So but yeah, it's conserving energy. And since I think I've learned it a little bit better than back in the day, so now it's better. And I don't see myself, because I mean, after when COVID came, I think that was a really good for all musicians or anybody that was out on the road. It gave you perspective on normal life,
Hmm.
and how it was. I was saying, we were saying like a bunch of friends that we felt like we were soldiers constantly in the trenches, ready for a new attack. And then COVID came, and there was like, no, there's no war, nothing. So
Mm.
for the first time in 25 years, I got to sit down and like actually sit down and know that there's no gigs, there's no nothing coming. And that was really, it was horrible after, a year. You were like, hold on, fuck this. But I think that kind of, without that experience, I would probably be still uh, using up my energy too fast, like I
Change
was
your
when I was younger.
perspective.
Yeah. So the perspective of Corona, uh, in hindsight, I think it was a good learning thing. So now you kind of like you appreciate the good stuff better, and when it's bad, you make sure to take care of yourself so you don't run out of batteries, you know.
Yeah, that's a huge discussion. I don't think we have everybody has.
No, yeah, no, we could talk about that for a long time, but it's really interesting. And but again, I'm happily amazed that I find myself saying these things.
Yeah. So, Nico, have a great time touring. Please survive.
Yes, I will try.
And let's see Katatonia again here in Chicago and taste the new music live, right?
Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. Oh, Chicago, man, excellent. The craft beer and the burgers. Oh, yeah, man, can't wait.
Absolutely. Have a great rest of your day, man, and stay.
And you, man.
Bye
And
bye.
you, thanks. Have a good one. Cheers.